Hello and welcome to Public Intel on Viewer Television Abuja. I am Dakare Ekendu. We begin with some top security stories that made the headlines during the week. Oyo State Police Command arrests 25 Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC Vehicle Inspection Officials VIO over driver's license fraud. Police bust 2 drug dealers, arrest 25 others in Cross River State. Increase defense budget, SAC Service Chief Group tells Buhari. And 400 terrorists surrender as Nigerian Army intensify efforts. Police parade killers of Unibank student Uwaila. And that's it on the headlines. For now, you can always catch us online. Our website, www.publicintelwithdakare.org, has more security stories. You can send us an email using publicintelwithdakare@gmail.com. Connect with us on all social media platforms. On Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, it is at Public Intel with Dakare, and on Twitter, it is Public Intel with Dakare. Stay with us, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Africa has been declared free from wild polio by the independent body, the Africa Regional Certificate Commission. Polio usually affects children under 5, sometimes leading to irreversible paralysis. 25 years ago, thousands of children in Africa were paralyzed by the virus. There is no cure, but the polio vaccine protects children for life. Nigeria is the last African country to be declared free from wild polio, having accounted for more than half of all global cases less than a decade ago. Conflict with the Islamist militant group Boko Haram has made parts of Nigeria particularly difficult to reach. In Borno State particularly, it has taken decades to achieve eradication and overcome suspicion around the vaccine. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
My name is Zainab Bala. From when I started anchoring News Live a year ago, it keeps getting better as I strive to get better. Matters of 2 speakers in the Bauchi State House of Assembly following disagreement between legislators of All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party has elicited ill feeling. Our digital news platforms allow you to have access to stories wherever you are.
We very much encourage early.
Dozens of people in Morocco's Fez province protested against the Egyptian couple. With your mobile devices, you can check our YouTube and Facebook pages for most trending news and videos. News Live comes to you straight from our studios right here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. You can log on to our website on www.viewertv.com.ng for more information.
My name is Dorcas Bello, Viewer TV State House Correspondent, Abuja. Villa Update brings you happenings within the villa, issues concerning state of the nation and governance in perspective. We try to capture these events exactly the way they are and reporting them transparently.
Vast experience in inter-basin transfer, and China built the biggest hydropower in the world.
Watch us every weekend on Viewer TV or watch our YouTube stream. Also follow us on our social media platforms at viewertv.ng.
Viewer Television is now in Kaduna, Kano, Katsina and Sokoto. With our large viewership and followership on our social media channels, all we do is broadcast quality content that keeps you glued to your TV set and devices 24/7.
Khan, what is happening in Khan is exactly what you can see.
Now to the Senate, the chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Security challenge.
Watch out for news updates,
Presidency leadership out there on Thursday received tomorrow.
sports shows,
The Nigerians are still celebrating the big money move.
entertainment programs,
And then my rig fell out like boom. It's supposed to be like the most
lifestyle and more. For more details and inquiries, log on to our website www.viewertv.com.ng. Viewer Television, giving your view a voice.
Watch us.
Welcome back. You are still on Public Intel. Aside the armed forces being an institution established by the state for primary purpose of national defense against external threats and internal conflicts, they are also a cornerstone of state and human security, but their legitimacy and effectiveness also depends on fulfilling their mission accountably within a framework of democratic civilian rule of law, respect for humans. That's for human rights. The armed forces are part of the state defense sector, which also includes all actors and organizations involved in providing, managing and overseeing national defense. Although the specific configuration and mission of the armed forces and the defense sector depends on history, culture and society of each country, the principles of good governance and all of the things within it can also be applied in each system. Government and societies have been contemplating the appropriateness of newly defined or previously secondary purpose for the armed forces, which extend beyond the core role of national defense. This includes the assignment of a variety of external and internal military and civilian roles and tasks. Some of these are performed as a subsidiary activity in support of operations under civilian command. On today's episode, we will be discussing the roles and responsibility of the Nigerian armed forces in contributing to good security sector governance. And with me in the studio is Jibrin Baba Ndace, a security editor of Blueprint. Thank you for joining.
It's my pleasure to be here, Dakore.
You're always welcome. Now let's begin with some of the headlines. It could be recalled that Sunday Shodipe had earlier been paraded by the Nigerian police on 17th of July, July this year. However, he escaped from the police custody. That was on Tuesday, 11th of August. After a week of manhunt, the serial killer was rearrested. Now I want to ask, at what point did the Nigerian police miss it?
Well, you can't say, I can't entirely say every criminal wants to always beat the arm of the law all over the world. So it's not for lack of strategy on the part of our Nigerian police. You find that all over, especially for a criminal like this that is considered a high, a criminal that is highly on ground within the area which he operates and has been killing,
But he was within the police custody. So at what point did he leave? Was it that the surveillance wasn't on him?
Yes, I mean there may be gaps in how they have managed it within the particular area where he was arrested. But what I'm saying is that if you look at it globally, you had cases where you have drug barons escaping from more secured environment in security, in prisons, not even in police custody. But you look at the police station in the case of Nigeria, what is even the level of security within that police custody? How did he escape? Was it that his other criminal element assisted in escaping? Did they overpower the police? And what is important is at least he has been arrested.
How did the Nigerian police miss it? How did they miss it? Having such a person in their custody and then he disappeared.
Well, I have answered you. I said, you see, this thing is not new. It would be gap within the area in which they operate, and that is why I also put a poser to you. The area in which, how did he escape? You know, what was even the instrument within the area that was kept? Is it so much a very secure environment? Did he have access, other access that maybe phone and other things that he could communicate on how he was going to escape and all of that? So the most important is that he has been arrested, and the lessons, the right lessons should be learned from the police high command. Such high criminals are not kept within the environment in which he was arrested. He must be taken away from there, because he must have built a very high network. You know, that network will even be beyond the police to even manage. You know, wherever they may have kept you within that area, it will be dangerous, and it will put a lot of pressure on the Nigerian police within that area. So once a highly valued criminal, you know, that is a threat to the state, is arrested, what is needed to be done is to quickly take him away from that environment, keeping, you see that, and that's why I'm using global experience term of, you see, warlord in other countries, a criminal warlord. There are some that they even build a tunnel. You know, it takes them years to, the months to even escape, but every highly valued criminal want to escape. You know, and that is why you have cases of prison break and all of that. And, you know, you have to look at what is even the capacity of a particular area where you have kept this criminal. You know, what is the capacity, what is the manpower there, what is the equipment available to keep this kind of criminal. You know, you don't keep a highly valued criminal like a petty thief. You don't keep a petty thief is somebody who is remorse. But a highly valued criminal is no remorse. You want to escape because you want to commit another crime. So once you get a highly valued criminal, like, what you need to do is to quickly use all the arsenal available within your system. It's no longer something that should be handled by a particular state command. He has become, because he's a national threat, he's a serial killer. So it's not a common criminal within an area that should be handled by a DPO, area commander, or even a state command, or even within a particular state. No, it should be moved, or even a zone. It should be moved, it should be handled by the office of the Inspector General of Police, because it's a highly valued criminal. So, and I hope that from what happened on this escape, they will learn the right lesson and ensure that he doesn't escape the second time.
Okay, all right, let's move away from the local headlines, and then from the headline we talked about President Muhammadu Buhari receiving the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, on the case that is going on in Mali. Now, my question is this: if this escalates in Mali, that's the fragile peace can be lost. What should the regional heads of states do to